Good afternoon, teacher. In this opportunity, I'm going to present my research project. My research project title is Teaching English and Difficulties to Keep a Conversation with a Student at Chichica Institute Professional Técnico Agropecuaria High School, and especially with ninth grade. In introduction, um, teaching of English language face many challenges, especially in educational environment when you try to speak in English or to keep conversation in English with them, and you you get that lack of motivation and lack of confidence for to keep a conversation in English. And I gotta say, despite the importance of English in technical, academical, even in scientific field or way, but uh, right now, um, around the ninth grade in the school, many students has or face different obstacles when trying actively actively participate in conversation in this language or in English language. A statement of the problem. The English language has a more important everything. Its learning represents several obstacles for the student. One of the major difficulties that the student face during English learning process is the lack of enough ability to keep conversation in English in the classroom. For about according North Dial in 2019, he investigated in a quantitative and descriptive study the problem that the student face for speaking English and the possible strategies to reduce these problems. The study showed that the lack of confidence and motivation as well the student afraid about making mistakes and loud grammar and pronunciation knowledge are the main problem for speaking English. Justification. This question is important because one of the English ability where students face more problem is to speaking. So it is important to know the main difficulties faced by students to look for possible solution or reduce this problem. The research is relevant for the student, teacher, and society because English appears every day more important. So all students must develop their English speaking skill to access a broad education. On the other hand, student good English speaking skill facilitate teacher teaching process. Also, the English education improvement people development within the society. Here in research hypothesis, the speaking difficult affect the English language process and speaking difficult do not or don't affect English teaching process. Research objective. In general objective is to analyze the main difficulty to keep a conversation in teaching English process with the student at Chichika High School. And a specific objective. Uh, we have applied method to improve the difficulties in learning English process at Chichika High School. The second specific objective propose the most common strategy to get a conversation in, and to improve the English teaching process at Chichika Instituto Profesional Técnico Agropecuario High School. Theoretical framework. In this case, according founded in 2018, the introductory course of the English language major constitutes the fundamental basis in the general training and learning of the English language in the student of this major. Learning the English language will depend largely on the effectiveness and efficiency with which the subject of the especially work, with the main objective being the development of communication skills so that the student can communicate in English on every day in general sociocultural topics. Research design. In my project, in my research, the research design is quantitative because this approach focuses on the collection and analysis of numerical data extent of the difficulty and type of the study. This study I consider descriptive because descriptive study because research focuses on describing the characteristics of a population or phenomena objective study and explanation. This type of research goes beyond description and fake law identify to identify the cause and effects of certain phenomena. Try to explain why and how certain things happen. Population. Here, the main population is the ninth grade student at Chica Instituto Profesional Técnico High School. Sample, approximately 25 students, which consists of observation, interview with survey students of the Chichica High School with the objective of determining the motivation and perception to keep and improve the conversation in English in the school and also in the society. Very words. Very words. Here in the resource, my title and variables, we have independent variable. An independent variable will have teaching English conversation. So according with course 2016, from here perspective teaching conversation in English, it is a necessary concern that is reflected in particular in the case of the English language. And dependent variable we have here difficulties in English conversation. So according Anna Inca in 2021, difficulty in English conversation is currently the main problem in the school around the world, around the society, around the country, and is extremely urgent. Here in budget, um, is the specific cost description. material and reactive products. I consider $75, and equipment um, I needed uh, $600 because uh, I needed a computer for making that research, for making that investigate, and I need a cell phone or mobile cell for making that. So I consider $600. In allowance, nothing dollars, and supposition nothing dollar because um, the research project in the school is here. So and I live here in Chichica, so I don't need money for transportation, or I need and uh, I don't need money for transportation. And administrative expensive, and I consider the $10 because the for helping training, um, etc. So I consider $10. And total about uh, about this budget, um, is total is $685. Conclusion. As a conclusion, uh, to final analyze the study about the teaching English and difficult to keep a conversation with the student at Tishika Instituto Profesional Técnico Agropecuaria High School. Uh, a lot of the, the which several key conclusion. In this case, the student about grade uh, have that situation has a difficult or a specific difficulty to keep a conversation in English, but uh, constant practice and exposure to a spoken English are essential to overcome barriers in oral communication. Activities such as guided conversation, debate, uh, can provide students with the opportunity to practice and improve their skills on an ongoing basis. Constructive feedback and positive reinforcement can motivate students to participate more actively in conversation activity in class. This is the finished teacher. Thank you and God bless.